What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new video. This is actually the first full video that I'm shooting in my new room, in my new place, so it's a big deal for me. I even got like dressed up for it. So because this is a new beginning for me as far as, you know, where I'm living and everything, I thought that it would make sense to do a video talking about new beginnings as far as weight loss, because one of the biggest, if not the most asked question that I get every single day is, how do I start? And it is a good question because there's so much information on the internet, and it can be a good thing and a bad thing, because every argument that you see, there's always, it seems like, a counter argument as to why that's wrong. So if you're trying to lose weight, there's so much information, which is awesome because there's so much for you to get into and learn about. But at the same time, it seems like every time you learn about something, there's another argument that's saying that everything you just learned is completely wrong. So today I wanted to just give you 3 simple tips on how you can just get started on your weight loss journey. So tip number 1 is actually kind of like a quote that I heard from Casey Neistat. I'm sure he got it from somebody else, but the quote is, don't let perfection get in the way of good enough. So what I mean by that is a lot of us get so caught up in trying to make the perfect weight loss routine, like getting everything dialed in and having your nutrition 100% perfect and having your gym routine 100% perfect before you even start. And that can be so daunting, and it can make you not even want to start. And that's something that I would struggle with so much, is when I would decide, you know, I would have this like moment where I was like, I need to lose weight. This has to be like, I need to start losing weight. This is it. This is my moment. I would start doing a bunch of research, and then I would just get so overwhelmed because I would try and make this perfect routine for myself and try and start going to the gym and try and, you know, afford a gym membership, put money aside for that. And then I was starting to get so, I would just get so flustered that I would just give up before I would even really start, because I was so focused on trying to make this perfect plan, when in reality, I just needed to start. I just needed to do something that was good enough. So I just started doing that, and I've talked about it before, and I called it the common sense diet. So I just went on this common sense diet where I cut out things that I knew, even as someone that was morbidly obese, was not good for me and it was not helping me lose weight. So seriously, just start and don't let perfection get in the way of good enough. My second tip for somebody starting their weight loss journey would be to believe and really understand that slow and steady really does win the race. When you're first starting to lose weight, it's really hard not to want to focus on how fast you're losing weight, especially with the media out there that really sensationalizes losing weight really fast. You know, The Biggest Loser, Extreme Weight Loss, all of these shows that show people losing a ton of weight really fast. For me personally, what I've noticed when I would try and do those like programs and stuff like that, and seeing other people that do them, is it's really easy at first to lose the weight, but then you start to get burnt out because you're on so low calories, or you're following this strict, really strict regimen that a lot of people either give up, or maybe they do lose all of the weight, but the amount of people that actually gain that weight back is it's astronomical. You guys have seen all the people on The Biggest Loser that have gained the weight back. Now this is something that's definitely easier said than done, because I remember when I would lose weight, I would tell my friend, like my best friend at the time, I would say, well, I might not be doing it the healthiest way, and I'm probably not eating enough calories right now, but I'll just get down to a healthy weight and then I'll fix it from there. Like I'll work on it from there. And the issue with that is that you're giving yourself these terrible eating habits, and you're developing this really bad relationship with food that is not as easy as it might seem to break that relationship and just fix it when you lose the weight and get to a healthy weight. That I really don't recommend going on crash diets and trying to lose weight as fast as possible. I do want to say this though, how overweight you are does kind of change how fast you're going to lose weight initially. If you are 300 pounds overweight, you could probably lose 4 pounds a week and it wouldn't be that detrimental or that crazy, right? But if you're only 50 pounds overweight, losing 4 pounds a week at the start probably is not the healthiest way to go about your weight loss. So everyone will lose weight at a different rate and a different speed, but I do believe that you can lose weight too fast. And a lot of people kind of argue with me with this, but I believe that if you want to sustain your weight loss as long as possible, doing it slow and steady is always the best way to go. And tip number 3 is always remember why you started. As cheesy as it sounds, I think that always remembering why you started is super important, because a lot of us that decide to lose weight, we have that moment, right? There's that moment of clarity that you go through, that you decide, hey, I'm gonna start losing weight now, like this has to happen. And remembering why that happened is so important, because when there are those times where you're struggling, and when you maybe messed up on your diet and ate a little bit more, or you haven't been able to go to the gym, or whatever it is, like you feel like you're not doing as well, you can always look back on that moment and that precise moment in time that you decided you wanted to lose weight, and it always kind of ground you, and it always bring you back to, this is why I started. Yes, maybe I had a bad day, maybe I didn't have the best week, but I started from this point, and that's why I want to to continue. Like, there's nothing else that's more important than this to me. And that was something that I absolutely, like, it was my anchor when I was trying to lose weight, because there were so many days where I would mess up. There were so many times when I would fail, right? Where I would not do as best on my diet as I thought that I should. But always remembering that click moment that I had, and that moment in time always brought me back to why I decided to start, and seeing the results that I had already had just made me want to push even more. Tip number 3B actually comes from you guys from Twitter, because I actually tweeted out, if you were to give one tip to someone who wants to lose weight, what would it be? And a ton of you guys responded saying that you should do it for yourself. I feel like this is kind of similar to remember why you started, so that's why I'm calling it 3B, but I definitely believe that doing it for yourself is a huge thing when it comes to weight loss, because that person that might be pushing you at first to lose weight, because there's so many times where I would have other people that wanted me to lose weight so bad, so they would do stuff for me. They would get me a gym membership, or they would go out of their way to try and get me healthy food, but when they weren't around, like, I didn't have the motivation inside enough to want to push through those times where I was craving a hamburger, or those times where I was craving eating a bunch of snacks, so I would just eat them. But when I had that moment that I need to do this for myself, there's nobody else that I need to prove anything to other than myself, right? Like, I want to live long enough to see, my niece grow up. I want to, all of these little things that kind of add up into why I wanted to do this for myself were so huge, because those people aren't always going to be around that are motivating you to eat well, right? When you are having that bad day, when you're having those moments where you feel like you're struggling with your diet and you want to just give up, if you're doing it for somebody else, it is a lot easier to just give up. But if you are doing it for yourself, and there's nobody else that you're trying to prove anything to, there's nobody else that you're trying to be good enough for other than yourself, there's no one you have to lie to when you do eat wrong, right? The only person you have to answer to is yourself. But I absolutely love doing it for yourself and not trying to do it for anybody else. So those are my 3-ish tips on how to start losing weight. Now, if you are somebody that is trying to figure out a diet or how many calories you should be eating, I have a great video that will tell you exactly how many calories you should be eating on your diet to lose weight in a healthy way. So I'll make sure that I'll link that in the description down below. I really believe that it can help anyone start their weight loss. So if you are at all confused about how many calories you should be eating or anything like that, click that video down in the description. I do understand that a lot of these were like mental tips on when you're starting to lose weight, but I definitely believe that losing weight is more of a mental battle than a physical one, so I thought that I would share with you guys kind of some mindset tips that I had when I first started losing weight. As always, I would love to hear from you guys, so if you're someone that has lost a lot of weight, or you just have a good tip for somebody that might be starting their weight loss, I would love to hear those down in the comment section down below. But again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. It was really cool to film, my first ever full video in the new place, so I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you guys think. But again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, look how buff I am.
Obey the warning signs, and when there are flashing lights or wigwags, don't attempt to cross until they come to a complete stop.